Steve Bannon's hard time is now looking a little harder. Sources tell CNN that the Trump ally won't be serving out his prison time in what's known as Club Fed, the most comfortable type of facility in the federal system that he actually had wanted. So he likely will spend time in prison in Connecticut, where he'd be placed with violent criminals and sex offenders. It also doesn't have individual cells, but open pods for inmates. There is also a chance that Bannon could be sent to New York City's infamous Rikers Island. Now, all of this comes as Bannon is now painting a clearer picture of what a second Donald Trump term could look like, or at least what he hopes it would look like. At a conservative gathering in Detroit, he gave a blunt but chilling warning that a day of reckoning, quite literally, is coming.
November 5th is Judgment Day. January 20th, 2025 is Accountability Day. We're going to get every single receipt. And to the fullest extension of the law, you are going to be investigated, prosecuted, and incarcerated. Ladies and gentlemen, it's very simple. Victory or death.
Joining me now is Lev Parnas. He worked with Trump and Giuliani to get dirt on then-candidate Joe Biden in Ukraine. Later, he testified that there was no dirt. He was also convicted of campaign finance crimes, wire fraud, and making false statements, and was sentenced to 20 months in prison back in 2022. He is also the author of Shadow Diplomacy, Lev Parnas and his wild ride from Brooklyn to Trump's inner circle. Lev, we appreciate you being here. You actually, because you've spent some time fairly recently in federal prison, I wonder, what do you think Bannon can expect?
Oh, well, Steve Bannon is in for a wild ride, I could tell you that much. First of all, the fact that he's no longer going to a camp, but is now going to a minimum security prison, it's a big factor. You know, when it comes to safety, when it comes to the type of inmates you're with, and the very big comes to the freedom that you have. And the number one thing is you're behind the wall and not outside the wall, which is now you're actually in prison. But besides that, like you said, Steve Bannon has a lot more things. He has a case coming up soon, so you know he's not going to have that much time to settle in, as they say, in prison. He's going to be moved to go to either Rikers or MDC in New York to stand trial for the state case, and that doesn't happen by the night before, where they send a car and pick you up and drive you there. You're going to go through a system where you might end up in Oklahoma, and it might take you 20, 30 days to get to that other prison. So Steve Bannon is in for a wild ride, especially in the low security prison in Danbury.
So, I mean, obviously Bannon wasn't just a Trump ally. He was actually a key official in the Trump White House for a time, and you've yourself worked with former President Trump. What do you think that Trump and his allies are actually going to do in a second term? When you hear him talking about it that way, do you think that he means that literally?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, anybody that knows Donald Trump, and I know Donald Trump very well, he's very vengeful. He doesn't forgive. He doesn't forget. You could just take a look at how he acted in the past and take a look at the people that he's looking to put into positions of power, like Attorney General. I mean, I think he's looking to put like either Kash Patel or General Flynn. I mean, people that are loyal to him and that will go to any extreme to weaponize the justice system to go after their enemies.
So to that end, I mean, do you think that there are any safeguards that would be in place if he were to be reelected?
The biggest safeguard is Americans have to come out and vote and make sure that he does not get anywhere near the White House. That would be the biggest safeguard that I would recommend.
So you were intimately involved, as we mentioned, in Trump and Giuliani's effort to dig up dirt on President Biden. They were trying to find this connection between President Biden and the money that his son, Hunter, received from Ukrainian energy company Burisma. You testified that there is no connection, but now Hunter has been convicted of federal gun charges. They're unrelated issues, but it came about as a result of that broader investigation. What's your reaction to that conviction for Hunter?
You know what? I'm very sorry that, you know, my actions and the actions that I took on behalf of Donald Trump and Rudy Giuliani and people in the Republican mega group to, you know, put the spotlight on Hunter by forcing disinformation, by pushing all of this negative and false stuff on him, that eventually it led to a person, a citizen, not a public official, but a citizen that was tried and now convicted of a crime that officially, I mean, nobody got hurt. He was in the trenches of a very, tremendous addiction, trying to get out of it, made a mistake, but because of the spotlight that Donald Trump and his allies like myself put on him in 2018, 2019 by pushing the false narratives from Russian propaganda, it led to these false, ridiculous trial and, obviously a conviction.
Meanwhile, your former partner in all of that, Rudy Giuliani, has been charged yet again. This time it's in Arizona for conspiring to overturn the 2020 presidential election results. We have his second mugshot up there on the screen. He says he'll be vindicated. How do you see what the consequences will be ultimately for Giuliani?
I said it before and I'll say it again. I think prison is where Giuliani's going to end up. I mean, just even recently as today, the bankruptcy court, the judge is getting fed up with the way Giuliani is dealing and not dealing actually, or giving records, which could eventually lead to other charges of fraud and stuff like that. So I think Giuliani is down a very deep spiral. He's let go, doesn't care, and I think he's going to end up in prison.
When you see people like Bannon and Giuliani and so many others, frankly, flirting with real prison here, do you think they have any idea what that is like, what they are in for?
Oh, they have no clue. Giuliani, I don't think, still even understands that he's actually going to prison. I think he is just, out there and not accepting the truth. But Steve Bannon, every day, more and more is coming to reality that he is going to lose his freedom and he is going to be under the supervision of people that, it's a crapshoot. With the way the political diversion is in our society, it goes all the way down to the prisoners, to the prison guards, to the prison officials. So Steve Bannon is going to be, shooting the dice every day of his life while he's in prison, being around where he's going to sleep, where he's going to work, who is he going to be around. He's not going to have the choice to pick and choose and surround himself with just mega people that will listen to him or help him out. So he's in for a rude awakening. Yeah,
that's a really stark picture that you just painted there. When it comes to Giuliani, why do you think that he doesn't seem to care about the potential consequence of prison?
I don't think he believes still, just like Donald Trump doesn't believe that he's actually going to end up in prison. I think because of who they are and because of the pushback and because of the support that they're getting from congressmen and senators and millions of people, I think that pushes them not to believe. And I don't believe Giuliani really believes that he's going to go to prison, especially with what you see what's going on in Georgia now. You have the delays because of they're going after Fani Willis, the prosecutor, and that's going to delay the case. So things like that give people like Giuliani hope that it's just never going to happen. So, and plus, they're fighting for the presidency. They all truly believe in Giuliani also that if Trump wins, that will wipe away all their problems. So that's why it's imperative that these elections, and I know we say it every year, every time there's an election, that this is the one, but this is really the one, to save our democracy and to make sure that there's accountability for what has transpired in the past 8 years.